Hey guys, so today I decided I want to show you all of my really bad nails that I've done. I get so many comments saying like, how did you get so good? And like, honestly, I'm not really good. I've just been really practicing. And a lot of people will be like, oh, mine turned out terrible. And I get a lot of those comments. So I want to show you guys all of the nail videos that I've done that haven't made it into like a video because they're bad. They're honestly terrible. And like, there's no way I could feel good about posting those. I would say for every like nail video that you guys see, there is at least one that you didn't see because I change my nails a ton. I probably change them like once or twice a week just because I really like doing them and I want more practice. And most of the time I do film it, but sometimes I don't, but also sometimes they just turn out really bad and then I'll live with it for a couple days and then change it again, and that'll be like a video that you guys see. So I want to go through quite a few of the videos that I tried to make but I never edited and showed into a video before because they were honestly bad. And I really want to show you guys that like come to me and are like, oh, you're so good, like I'll never be like that. Like I'm still not good at all. Sometimes I have a good day and I'm able to do them good with whatever products I'm using, and some days they're bad and sometimes they're really bad. And you guys will have to let me know if you guys like this format that this video is going to be in. I want to try to keep like upping my videos a little bit and make them better quality and better content, so I'm just going to kind of get right into it. So this first video was done quite a while ago and I did some dip nails, and the dip nails themselves were not bad. They weren't the best ones that I've ever done, but there was nothing wrong with like the nails themselves really. It really came to when I tried to start decorating them. I believe that this was around maybe Valentine's Day, and for some reason I was like, you know what, why doesn't anyone use stickers as stencils? So I pulled out some Lisa Frank stickers and I put it on my nail and I painted over it black. And then the sticker, of course, kept popping up. Just for some reason, like I hadn't really used stencils very much. So I kind of just thought it was like maybe just like a sticker. And obviously I was very wrong. And I don't know why, but I kept trying it. I tried it over and over and over. And of course it never worked. It always looked terrible. And even aside from the sticker aspect, I am not good at putting on polish. Using real polish is so hard for me. That's why I really like to use gel, and I just like gobbed that black nail polish on. And I did end up using stencils because I did have a few, and those turned out okay-ish until I decided to put a gel top coat on some regular nail polish. So of course when you do that, a lot of things can happen. It can get like weirdly bubbly, you can sort of get these like ripples in it, or it can sort of like separated, like it almost didn't want to stick to the nail. And also I accidentally used the gel polish that I used to top off any like holographic powders, so these were meant to just be like just straight black with like these little designs in it, and then I ended up accidentally using a top coat which looked super terrible on top, and also with these like random holographic pieces that really weren't supposed to be in there, and you can definitely tell weren't supposed to be in there, and they just turned out really bad. And I was like, there's absolutely no way I can post this because it's honestly terrible. And this next video, I didn't even actually finish this. I think I completely stopped for the day because I was just getting frustrated. So since I had so many issues with that black nail polish before, I went out and I bought a just black gel polish. And then just being totally real with you guys, I think I wanted to use that Anastasia Beverly Hills Emery's highlighter to just for like an Instagram video, get them views. And it just looks so bad. A lot of the time you can, try to use some sort of eyeshadow on top of a nail, but just, I don't know, for some reason I was wanting to do like half. Like I was wanting to do like half hollow that ombre into like a gold that was an eyeshadow, and it just, good concept in my head, you could try to think about it, really bad execution. And then once that one didn't work out, I was like, okay, I'm still gonna try for this ombre thing for some reason. So then I decided, oh, I will ombre just like the really fine hollow, where just like it's like a just overall holographic, into chunky hollow. And it still didn't work. It just looked like half and half, and it just looked bad. I don't know why I kept trying to ombre these things that probably shouldn't be ombreed. And then I was like, okay, whatever, I'll just put whatever hollow on my thumbs. It doesn't even matter. So then I was like, oh, I'm gonna try to use these stencils again. And I just wasn't using the powder consistently. Like I put those like mermaid scale sort of stencils on there, and I got the applicator that I usually use, and on one of them I rubbed it in, and it, you know, created like the normal like hollow shine whatever, because hollow needs to be like buffed in. And then on the other one I like dabbed it on so it wasn't buffed in, so it just looked like a regular like silver powder on it, and it just didn't match, and it just looked really, really bad. And then my dog knocked over the camera, and at that point I decided that the universe just wasn't gonna work with me that day, and I stopped filming. Next is probably the absolute worst set that I've done and filmed. This one is just so bad. So this was on the day that I had tried to do my nails using the polygel from Wish. And so you guys know, like if you watched my like real versus fake polygel video, it was an absolute disaster and I got really, really frustrated with it. Well, I didn't actually show you guys the nails that I did. The nails that you guys saw in that were not like the final result. So I ended up using the regular gelish polygel and just did those with the dual forms really, really quick, because at that point I think I'd been filming for like 6 hours and I was just completely over it. I just wanted to get it done quick. So I really, really skipped out on like shaping them so they're square, and honestly, like who wears square nails anymore? And like, you know, just being honest, I think like the Catch Me Outside girl is the only one that still wears square nails. And these ones that I did were just so clunky. Like I don't even feel like I filed them almost at all. So then I decided, you know what will make this better? I'll cut up these like little strips of like foil type stuff, and I'll put these little slivers so I could like sandwich them in while I was doing the polygel. I'd put one dual form, do one layer on, and then I would get the form again, put the polygel layer on, and then I stuck the little slivers inside and then just like smushed it on and called it a design. And like I just felt like I didn't like them, so when I don't like a set of nails I keep trying like all these different things when really I should just stop. Like I really need to just like take a second and like walk away and just like, you know, reevaluate, but just in the moment I get so flustered and frustrated that I just keep going. So then I'm like, oh, you know what's a good idea is taking these weird little hollow tape strips and putting those on. That'll make it better. And then I got frustrated with those because obviously they're not going to just stick down with one like gel top coat. I don't know what I was thinking there. And then to make matters worse, I was like, oh, I'll put like a iridescent powder on top of these. That'll make it better. And then just the color of the powder that I used made them look like yellow. So it just was a bad time, and they just looked so bad. And I know my cuticles were like super, super irritated because I had been putting nails on and off all day long and like with all these different products, and like they were just not happy. I literally took that set off the next day because I hated them so much. These were just like the worst set I think I've ever done. And I just like didn't care at that point, and I don't know why I kept filming it. I think I was like determined to like get some sort of footage, and I guess that footage came in handy now. This next video, I again did not finish. I did 2 nails and then I was like, nope, the universe isn't gonna work with me again. So I did 1 nail and I sort of encapsulated some glitter, and that nail worked fine. It was okay. I obviously had a little bit of trouble like putting the glitter on because I was like, it should just stick even though there's nothing on it, right? Like obviously I knew, but just, you know, I don't know. So then I got on to the next nail and I was like, oh, you know what would be cool is to cut out like a sliver of like that like shiny foil stuff, you know, the stuff that usually people like cut into slivers. I was like, I'm gonna make like a triangle and I'm gonna put it on my nail so like the entire nail is like that shiny foil. It's like a cool concept, you know, if you think about it. And then I did it and it was bad. Like I was using polygel, so like polygel isn't gonna just like stick down completely, you know, it's, like you have to really work with it, and then it ended up getting like crumbly and it just like didn't fit, and it was a weird shape and it was just bad, and I was like, you know what, I quit. This next set is an entire set that actually it wasn't the worst set that I've ever done, but I definitely was still not happy with it. I've really been trying to work on acrylic, and I am really, really, really struggling with the ratios. So I started out by putting some tips on that I had just bought in. I had got them in the mail that day, and they looked completely different from the ones that I bought online, because as you guys can see, this one is like a half nail. Like you glue half of it on, you know, and you like barely do it. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna use these, whatever. So I put them on, and honestly, when they're that long, like even this set, and if they're not like a super defined coffin, kind of like these kind of look square, but they're coffin. These are definitely like a weak coffin, and so those kind of look square, and even though they're like technically like a pre-made coffin, and I really should have filed them more, but I was like, you know what, whatever, I'm just gonna do it. I really wanted to work with this acrylic because I had ordered from like someone that does like nails on Instagram and stuff like that, like Vanessa's Nails, and I got like the monomer, and I got like a clear acrylic, and I got like 2 hollow ones just because they were really pretty, and I decided I really wanted to try them. So you can already just see like me struggling with either I didn't use enough monomer or I used too much, and like I was just really struggling with like using acrylic in general. And then on top of it, I decided, you know, instead of just, you know, hey Emily, you're not really good at acrylic, right? What you should do is try to do a weird design on top of it. Like, what world does that make sense? So like, you know, on some of them I tried to do this like glitter to like clear ombre, even though in the middle you could see where the tip was, and that just like, that's not a good idea. That's like, and you know, like that's just like not a good time. And I just spent a really, really long time on that set. I spent so long filing, and that's why I don't really use like real acrylic that much. And then on top of it, yes, I did even more. I tried to do like hollow powder design, so I got like a gel top coat, and I got like a brush and I painted the top coat on, and then I would rub like the hollow powder in it. And I thought, you know, oh, that like in my head that kind of seems like a good idea, but then like executing it, it really wasn't a good idea. Like you couldn't really see the top coat because it was like in such weird thin like uneven layers. It wasn't going on well. It looked like patchy, and it was bad. So then I ended up having to take like, you know, go back and take some layers off and like sort of redo that whole thing, and it was just a disaster. So that was that set of nails, and that one wasn't too long ago. I think that was maybe like 2 months ago. And then this brings us to a set that I did like a couple days ago. And for this one, it's not necessarily like a bad idea or necessarily really, really bad execution, but really, really, really poor judgment. So I had this set of nails on that was sort of like a really, really dark red / like almost like brown. So I did want to like reuse these nails because these ones were not coming off. Like it was definitely like a fill time. So I wanted to show you guys how I do the cuticles with like my electric file, and how I like do a fill, and then how I do like a new design on top of it, and I wanted to show you guys all that type of stuff. So I did the whole thing with the drill, and then this is where like it was just the worst decision, and it ruined the entire set. I got a bunch of stuff from Long Hair Pretty Nails, and she has a store, so I got some stuff from it. And I really wanted to like use all of it. Like, you know when you go grocery shopping and you get all this good food and you get home and you just want to eat literally everything? That's how I feel with nail stuff. So I just wanted to use literally everything. So I got a white acrylic, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try acrylic again. And so I thought it would be a good idea, you know, and this might work if you're good at acrylic, but when you're terrible at acrylic, it won't work. I put a layer of white acrylic on top of these dark red / like brown nails. And I thought, you know, it'd be fine underneath. It just looked like, you know, red, like, you know, like the Louis Vuittons. Like, it's fine, right? Like, it's fine. And then because, you know, I'm terrible at acrylic, it was sort of lumpy, so I wanted to file it down before I put on the design. So I started filing it down, and then there was little areas, you know, where I filed too much, or like it was too thin, and like the red was peeking through, and like on the sides of the nail, like those were like, some was red, and like you could almost see it from the top, but you like couldn't at the same time. So I was like, you know what, I'm just, you know, once I'm done with the design, it'll like look fine. So I went on, I used these glitters, and also I had gotten these like little, someone told me what they're called whenever I got them from Wish. These things. I think they're so cute, and I wanted to use them so bad. And since I was doing acrylic, I was like, it's perfect to like time to like encapsulate things. So I did a design kind of using those, and also kind of just using glitter. And by the end, like it looked pretty decent from the top. It was just like white with, you know, the glitters, and they were just, it was cute. It was really cute. But then once I like filed it all down and I got the top coat on and everything, I just, you know, like from the top, they were alright. Like they look fine, but just when I was like looking at them, they looked like a hot mess with like the brown kind of like underneath, and like in hindsight, it would have looked so much better if I had just kept that like reddish brown color and just did like just a clear layer of acrylic on top. So, but I do think I will end up redoing this like design with these little cute things and the glitter and that type of stuff. Just, you know, not yet. Because I ended up taking those nails off because I hated them. Like it was bothering me a lot. And plus they were way too thick. They were so clunky. They were like heavy almost. And like I really hate them. So I took them off the next day, and I've since done 2 new sets. This set, which is just like, I don't know, just like a regular like pink, and with curved ones for a change, and just like different types of like hollow on top. And then I also did this set, which is like sculpted with gel and like sort of like a different thing, but I ended up not liking those either because I chose the wrong color underneath, and it was like orange instead of like, I thought it'd be cute to have sort of like an orange like peachy color underneath, but then it looked weird because it almost looked like it was my nail. It's just, you know, it just wasn't a good look. So yeah, those are all of the nails that I have footage of that I hated and you guys never saw. I hope you guys like seeing all the struggles that I've had, and like I do have like even currently, like I'm still not super good at nails, but you know, I do try to show you guys like what I am doing. I just couldn't show some of it in like a, hey, this is a tutorial context, so I thought that this was good, and I'm glad that I kept a lot of this footage. If you liked this video, please give it a like as it helps me out a lot, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye!